Welcome to an alternative media outlet.
We'll never drink your medicine and we'll never think your way. Masters of broken promises are born to manipulate. Your mind is a vault of prejudice, but we see through the door. Your dirty little secrets aren't so secret anymore. We'll never drink your medicine.
Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 here on Fact vs. Theory. I'm Ryan Griska. Over the last week, I've been messing around a lot with my video editing program. I'm happy to say all progress is coming along well. I do have many more plans, including a little bit of green screening and a higher quality video as the technology comes into my possession. That being said, I want to have a lot more fun this week. I want to let loose some more. I want to show you more about who I am, what I am, while bringing the facts. I just want to say that my comfort level filming myself shot up a lot more this week, and I really want to thank you all for supporting my page and my channel so far. I really appreciate it. So let's jump right into it. Operation Jade Helm 15. For about a month now, maybe a bit longer, the talk of the US alternative media has been all over Jade Helm 15. Anonymous, Dave Hodges, and many other well-known writers have been expressing their concerns all over the internet about this. Many people believe that this is just the start of martial law and a new world order being formed. But is this just propaganda? At this point, none of us know for sure. But today, I want to share what we know and what's confirmed about this military operation in question. So, here we go. 7 known and confirmed facts about Jade Helm 15. Number 1. The hostile states. In accordance to the official PDF file about Jade Helm 15, Utah, Texas, and a small portion of California are considered hostile by the federal government. Statistically, these 3 states register 35% of all legal firearms in the United States. As a side note, these 3 states happen to have the most laid-back firearm registry in the country. If I was planning an operation, given these stats, I would try to avoid Texas as much as I possibly could. I mean, hell, if 35% of the legal guns in the country come from Texas, imagine how many aren't even registered. And Utah, and California, and yeah. Damn, Texas, you scary. Number 2. Jade Helm is about unconventional warfare. In the last 21 years, the United States military have been a part of 22 different wars. Some of which include the Gulf War of 1990, the Somali Civil War in 1992, the Kosovo War in 1998. And hey, let's not forget my personal favorite, the War on Terror. Zero liberties for everybody. As a matter of fact, the US have been involved in more wars than the next 3 militarized countries combined. Conveniently, several mock cities have been built in the last 2 to 5 years alone, replicating that of American cities. What makes this operation so unconventional is the fact that no military training of this size has been attempted in a civilized population in over 50 years. This is partially due to the safety risks it posed to its citizens. That's essentially double my lifetime. Little sketchy here. Number 3. Uninformed officials in the Jade Helm region. During the preliminary outlook of Jade Helm 15, State Governor of Texas and top-ranking political officials were not informed of the military operation in question. Also, much of the military in other regions had no knowledge the operation would be taking place. I guess somebody forgot to leave Greg Abbott the memo. This is kind of a big deal when you think about it. If you want the people to accept this operation, you have to let them know well in advance. You don't just drop a bombshell like this and expect the people to go with it. Come on. On a positive note, Governor Greg Abbott has since dispatched his state militia in Texas to monitor the federal government's troops. A true honest-to-God patriot, folks. Great guy. Number 4. UN trucks in the USA. As of the last few weeks in particular, the number of citizen sightings of UN trucks being stationed in the Jade Helm region have risen almost 40%. Most of these vehicles from the UN include armored transport vehicles for prisoners of war. And what makes it even more questionable is the location of these vehicles. The most notable regions these have been seen are on the borders of Texas, Georgia, and Colorado, but this is also seen countrywide. If this was meant for overseas countries, why are you transporting them to the US? That's got to be one hell of a relocation fee. But don't worry, I'm sure the happy taxpayers are willing to foot the bill. Number 5. government officials brush off citizen concerns. Despite the overwhelming amount of evidence that there is out there, government officials are still deeming this a conspiracy theory. Being a longtime theorist, theory is only theory without fact. This operation has drawn so much attention that even Chuck Norris has made comments about the intentions of Jade Helm 15. Actually, on May 9th, the Pentagon responded to the press about Jade Helm 15 and were very particular about the wording of their answer. If you haven't seen the video, May 9th, about the Pentagon and their conversation, I recommend you take a look at it. Guys, I may not know everything, but I certainly know a liar when I see one. Because if you're stumbling over your words as much as these guys do, then according to psychology, it's a sign that you are definitively lying. On a side note, not sure if many of you know this, but according to mainstream media rules and regulations, they are legally allowed to lie to the public to avoid panic and civil uprising. Hey, I'm full of facts today. Number 6. Operation Jade Helm in Hebrew translates to West Shock. A large number of well-renowned world translators have proven that the literal translation in Hebrew does in fact mean West Shock. I'm no expert, but we're in the Western world. If a shock happens, it will be here. That being said, let's take a few seconds to look at some economic stats. Apparently, the stock market is holding up quite well at the current place in time. However, the stock markets are currently showing the same trends as the economic collapses of 1987, 2000, and 2008. Economic experts have stated on many occasions before that if the U.S. economy were to implode on itself, the effects would be critical in the Western and even some of the Eastern world. I'm no expert on economics, but I definitely know if your unemployment rate is skyrocketing, things aren't looking good. This is extremely questionable given the fact that there is a 7 to 11 year cycle of economic tribulation dated back over 60 years ago. A rinse and repeat, my friends. Don't worry though, America. Canada's still 20 cents shy of your dollar. At least. And finally, number 7. The Jade and Helm programs. The Jade system, JADE, is an acronym for Joint Assistant for Development and Execution. This system was created in 2001 by a company called BBN and creates geographic knowledge for quick military deployment. Normally within an hour, the troops will already be at their destination. I don't know if any of you are actually familiar with BBN, but they do have a few connections with a company called Raytheon. Strangely, Raytheon just recently created an EMP shield for the Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Could be a connection, but that's just a theory. Next up, the Helm system. HELM is an acronym for Homeland Eradication of Local Militias. This program involves the complete disarmament of the general public. Though Helm isn't the actual method that was used in 1938 by Hitler, it's a very similar method that he used before he implemented martial law in 1939. I say it a lot, history repeats itself, but hell, don't take my word for it. It's a meme, guys. It can't be wrong. And that wraps up this week's webisode. I'll leave you guys some links in the bottom, like last week, like every week will be. But this is all just a start. There's a lot more research you could do for yourselves and open up the possibilities. Personally, do I see this as martial law? No, not yet. But I do believe that this is very well setting the stage. There's enough facts to back the conspiracy theory, but we don't know for sure. All I can say is remain vigilant. For all of you that are living in the Jade Helm region, if, God forbid, something actually does happen, my prayers will be going out to you. Keep up the battle. And certainly don't forget that knowledge is power. The more you have, the better off you are if things go sour. If you like these videos, then click the subscribe button below. Don't be shy. Like and follow me on Fact vs. Theory on Facebook. I post a number of articles and memes trying to keep the page constantly pumping out information that I confirm. And that's about it. So thanks again for coming. See you all next week, I hope. Fact vs. Theory. Exposing the truth. One theory at a time. Take it easy, y'all.